Hello, welcome to the return of Storytime Quickies. I, your boy, is back, and we got a new book today. We have a new playlist starting up for the YouTube channel, Chinese Myths and Folk Tales, which we are going to be starting up for the Lunar New Year. We're going to do a couple of these stories for the next month or two as we transition, and then we're going to go back into the Grimm's Fairy Tales at some point. But for now, we are going to be exploring a subject that I myself am very unfamiliar with. I don't know any myths or folk tales from this book at all. So I'm going to be experiencing this brand new with you guys. So I'm kind of curious what you're going to think of it. I hope you enjoy it as much as you enjoyed the tales of horror or the Grimm's fairy tales. So sit back, grab your snackies, because it's time for a quickie, a story time quickie. So for today's story, we are going to be reading. This is the first one. Oh my god. So we have examinations for the post of guardian angel, which is only a page long. It's not very long. This is going to be a very short story. Huh. Yeah, it's like about maybe a page and a half. Examinations for the post of guardian angel. My eldest sister's husband's grandfather, named Sung Xiao, was a graduate. One day, while laying down from indisposition, an official messenger arrived, bringing the usual notification in his hand and leading a horse with a white forehead to summon him to the examination for his master's degree. Mr. Sung here remarked that the grand examiner had not yet come and asked why there should be this hurry. The messenger did not reply to this, but pressed so earnestly that at length Mr. Sung rose himself, and getting upon the horse rode with him. The way seemed strange, and by they reached a city which resembled the capital of a prince. They then entered the prefect's yamen, the apartments of which were beautifully decorated, and there they found some 10 officials sitting at the upper end, all strangers to Mr. Sung, with exception of one whom he recognized to be the god of war. In the veranda were two tables. In the veranda were two tables and two stools, and at the end of one of the former a candidate was already seated. So Mr. Sung sat down alongside him. On the table were writing materials for each, and suddenly down flew a piece of paper with a theme on it, consisting of the following 8 words: one man, two men, by intention without intention. When Mr. Sung had finished his essay, he took it into the hall. It contained the following passage: those who are virtuous by intention, though virtuous, shall not be rewarded. Those who are wicked without intention, though wicked, shall receive no punishment. The presiding deities praised this sentiment very much, and calling Mr. Sung to come forward, said to him, a guardian angel is wanted in Honem. Go you and take up the appointment. Mr. Sung no sooner heard this than he bowed his head and wept, saying, unworthy thou I am of the honor you have conferred upon me. I should not venture to decline it, but that my aged mother has reached her 7th decade, and there's no one now to take care of her. I pray you let me wait until she has fulfilled her destiny, when I will hold myself at your disposal. Thereupon, one of the deities who seemed to be the chief gave instructions to search out his mother's term of life. and a long bearded attendant forthwith brought in the book of fate. On turning it over, he declared that she still had 9 years to live. And then a consultation was held among the deities, in the middle of which the god of war said, "Very well. Let my graduate Chang take the post, and be relieved in 9 years' time." Then, turning to Mr. Sung, he continued, "You ought to proceed without delay to your post, but as a reward for your filial piety, you are granted a furlough of 9 years. At the expiration of that time, you will receive another summons." He next addressed a few kind words to Mr. Chang, and the two candidates, having made their kowtow, went away together. Grasping Mr. Sung's hand, his companion, who gave Chang Chi of Changshan as his name and address, accompanied him beyond the city walls and gave him a stanza of poetry at parting. I cannot recollect it at all, but in it occurred this couplet: "With wine and flowers we chase the hours in one eternal spring. No moon, no light to cheer the night. Thyself that ray must bring." Mr. Sung here left him and rode on, and before very long reached his own home. Here he awakened as if from a dream, and found that he had been dead 3 days. When his mother, hearing a groan in the coffin, ran to it and helped him out. It was some time before he could speak, and then he at once inquired about Changshan, where, as it turned out, a graduate named Chang had died that very day. 9 years afterward, Mr. Sung's mother, in accordance with fate, passed from this life, and when the funeral op- obscuries obscuries were over, her son, having first purified himself, entered into his chamber and died also. Now his wife's family lived within the city, near the western gate, and all of a sudden they beheld Mr. Sung, accompanied by numerous chariots and horses with carved trappings and red tasseled bits, enter into the hall, make no obeisance, and depart. They were very much disconcerted at this, not knowing that he had become a spirit, and rushed out into the village to make inquiries. When they heard he was already dead, Mr. Song had an account of his adventure written by himself, but unfortunately, after the insurrection, it was not to be found. This is only an outline of the story. Wow, and that concludes examination for the post of guardian angel. Hmm. I like that little bit of poetry in this. That was actually kind of nice. I like that. With wine and flowers we chase the hours in one eternal spring. No moon, no light to cheer the night. Thyself that ray must bring. Hmm. That's so beautiful, man. I like that a lot. But that concludes today's story. For tomorrow, we will be going over the talking pupils. I hope you guys enjoyed that quick little story time for tonight. And I hope it inspires more of you to go out and start researching a little bit more outside of your comfort zone when it comes to reading. A lot of us usually stick to just our cultures. We stick to um, going over some of the classics. Sometimes it feels good to just kind of like get outside of the normal and read something from like halfway across the world. From like centuries and centuries ago. There's a lot of wisdom that can be found within it, and it's quite amazing how a lot of it still applies nowadays to a lot of just modern day sentiments and stuff like that. So I hope that you guys that are watching from YouTube like, subscribe, And go check out some of the other playlists as well. There should be some more that pop up right around over here at the end of the video. They're going to be probably for the Tales of Horror, maybe Grimm's Fairy Tales. I'm not sure yet. I haven't set up any of the boxes yet, but go check those out and go like your favorite videos, go late or favorite stories. I decided at some point, I'm not sure exactly when, I'm gonna try and animate some of these stories by myself. It's gonna be kind of a little bit of a feat to try and animate by myself, but I'm gonna try and take it on a little bit to kind of get a little bit of practice in, since I find it a little difficult to work on my own projects sometimes. So it's kind of like the kick in the pants to kind of like get me started to do something. Um, I do a lot of like traditional 2D animation stuff, so uh, I will try my best to kind of translate it. Maybe start with storyboarding. I'm probably gonna try and take maybe like the most popular like video and then try and transfer that at first. See how that goes. Or I might just pick like my favorite out of like the top 10. If one of those, if your video makes it to the top 10 and I end up picking it, hey, good on you, but I'll see. I'll try to go over that probably within the next year or so. I'm gonna try to have it done by the end of the year though, because we do have a New Year's resolutions that we still have to keep up with, which I have not even started. I have kind of not been focusing on that quite a bit. I haven't started any video games really. I haven't even finished Cyberpunk yet, which we're gonna be getting back to soon. I promise. But again, for those of you that are watching for the Storytime Quickies, go like, subscribe. If you're watching from Twitch or if you want to watch live, go follow on twitch.tv/stigma xoxo. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I'll see you all on the next one. If you want live notifications for when I'm going to be going live, follow me on x.com, Blue Skies, all social medias. I have the same username all over. So go check that out. And I'll see you all in the next one. Bye.